Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat if I am visible as well as equally audible? Then we would start right away. Just a quick +1 from you all. And welcome to Geeks. If I am visible as well as equally audible, then we would start right away. Okay. So I am visible as well as equally audible. So we would start. Okay. What to put this? Your voice is. My voice should be audible and I should be visible. Okay. Sir, voice is not visible. Voice is not visible, my friend. Okay. Now, so let's start with the today. We would be discussing yesterday's problem, that is 2nd of September. Video is not audible. Audible and I should be visible. Can you check from your end? I think the problem is from your end because Chaitanya can hear it and I can also hear it. Okay, then it's fine. Okay. So, yeah. So 2nd of September. So yesterday's problem, count of the sum of consecutives. Okay. And the success percentage is around 48%. And this is a medium level problem. And it came in LinkedIn, it came in Visa, it came in Walmart. Okay. So it's a very good problem, I must say. And it is a mathematical problem. But I would be using some more techniques which I would be telling you. Okay. Now let's move to the problem statement. The problem statement states that we would be given a number n, okay, which I have changed to n itself, okay. The task is to find Lucifer, how to get, okay, I would first solve the whole question, then I would answer all your queries which are not related to this question, okay. The queries which relate to this question and are according to the question, okay, revolves around this question, I would be answering them. But the queries which are general queries, I would be answering them at the end, okay, so that I don't destroy the flow itself. Okay, we are given a number and the task is to find the number of ways to represent this number as a sum of two or more consecutive natural numbers. Okay, suppose I would be telling you, suppose we are given 10 itself. 10 itself. Now how can we consider 10? Okay, how can we represent 10 here? Okay, now to represent 10 there is only one way. Which is the one way? You find out. I would be telling you for a number which is having more than one way. Okay, that is 15 itself. Okay, now 15 has three ways to be represented. The first one is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 itself. Okay, and now one more way is 4 plus 5 plus 6 and one more way is 7 plus 8 itself. Good to go. Now how would we calculate this? Okay, can you tell me how did you went on to solve this problem? Okay, the view count is handsome enough. Can you please tell me how you intended to solve this problem? Can I have a quick overview how you took this problem? Okay, now I would be telling you. Now I would be just cropping this because this is important. Okay, just let me take this part and copy it to the next one. Okay. Now, what is the most common thing that you should do? You should at first consider the expected time complexity, take it as big O of n or big O of root under n, whatever suits you, because the optimization part is very easy. Even if you solve it for big O of n, then you can quickly optimize it for less than big O of n. Okay. Now the thing is that the number is 15 itself. 15 can be represented as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay. And now the numbers in the sequence should be greater than 2 itself. Should be greater than 2. So we know that we can't use 15 here. Okay. Now suppose I am telling you a number. Suppose this is 7 plus 8 itself. Okay. Now do this for 3-4 more numbers and you would see this fact that for a particular length of sequence it is same itself. Okay, now what I want to tell you is that Suppose the length of the sequence is 2. This length of the sequence is 2. Okay, 2 is the length of the sequence. Now there won't exist any more sequence of length 2. Okay, can I have a quick +1 from one more? Can you please like the video if possible? Okay, now what I want you to tell is, now there won't be more than this sequence which is of 2 length. Okay, now this would be 7 plus 8 or 8 plus 7, nothing else. Okay, nothing else which are consecutive. Which is consecutive, there would be none other than the same length. Okay, so what I want you to tell is, for each length at max one sequence exists. Is this clear? I must say this is clear, absolutely clear. So for each length at max one segment exists. Okay. 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6. What is the addition of 4, 5 and 6? This is 15 itself. Okay. If you try to keep this length same itself, then if you try to go at this side, then this would be 4, 3, 4 and 5. The addition of this is 12. If you go on this side, it would be 5, 6 and 7. Okay. And 5, 6 and 7, let me clear out the screen itself. Yeah. So if we go on this side, that would be 5 plus 6 plus 7. Okay. That is 11. 11 plus 8 is equals to 18 itself. That is also more. So it is a clear example that if a particular sequence match up to a particular sum, then if we go at this side, then all would increase. If we go at this side, all would increase. Okay. So now good to go. Now this is the conclusion. Okay. This is the first thing that we should notice. Okay. Now Manav loop start from 0 to n by 2, and in the second loop we compare with n equals to and repeat the loop for n by 2 times. Okay. Good to go, and I would be telling you. Now the thing is that for each length at max one segment exists. Now suppose this is 15 itself. Okay. And this is the thing, 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6. So if you notice this can be written as 4, 4 plus 1, 4 plus 2. Okay. I would take one more example because this is a tricky part. Okay. 1, comma, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3 and 1 plus 4. This one. Okay. Now we would try to take hold of this part. This part remains the same and this part is changing. Okay. This is a popular technique. I call it the contribution technique. Whenever you are told to do a brute force and you know that brute force won't work and you need to add up all the elements, or you need to add up all the subarrays of different length, it is a common problem that we might come across. So what the first thing that we should do is, the first thing that we should consider is, what is the contribution of a particular element in all the subsegment. Okay, what I want, the view count is now 10. Can I get at least 10 likes, please, if possible? So whenever you are told to consider all the scenarios, the first thing that you should do is, you should first check what is the contribution of a particular element. Okay, so I check the contribution of this element contribution is same, this element contribution is same but added with 1. That is the key point here. And this technique, I call it the contribution technique. I don't know what is the technical term of it, but I call it the contribution technique and it is most helpful. Okay. Now we would try to analyze how can we take out this. Okay. I would write it again so that we have a proper 4 plus 1 and then 4 plus 2 itself. Okay. Now this is coming to the example that 4, all the addition of it is 15. Let us let us subtract this part, then minus 3 would be this part, and then the answer is 12, and 12 can be written as 4 comma 4 comma 4. Clearly, this is quite clear. Can I have a quick +1 from everyone so that I understand that everyone, so we are all in the same page? Officially, it's called Hazra technique. It's my title actually. It is, I don't know. I don't think it is called as Hazra technique, to be honest. Okay. So this is how we would come to this problem. So now we are saying that if we subtract the contribution of length -1, then we would get 4 divided by 2. Okay. Now what I want to tell you is that suppose the answer of a segment, whatever be the question itself, the answer of the segment is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Take a bigger segment, okay? And this would be 7, 7 plus 1, 7 plus 2, 7 plus 3, 7 plus 4, and 7 plus 5 itself. Okay? Now, we know that if we subtract all these parts, then the sum remaining would be divisible by 7 itself. So, we would do the same thing. And where till this is the sum? This sum is till length -1 itself. If the length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then this would be till 5 itself. So what we can do is we can simply take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good to go. And we would calculate the sum till that point. It is known as the prefix sum. Normally 1, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, 6 plus 4 is equal to 10, 10 plus 5 is equal to 15, 15 plus 6 is equal to 20, and we would go on till this point. Okay. So what we can do is we can simply calculate a prefix sum of this array, and then we would consider all the length of the segment. And I told you that for each length at max one segment would exist. So we won't coming to the conclusion that for a particular length there might be more than one. So we just need to check that if we can make a length of that segment or not, if that length segment can be done or not. So what we can simply do is just take a clear shot of this one. I would tell you what we should do is we should simply subtract 1 to 5, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5, and check if it is divisible by any number or if it is divisible by the length or not. If it is divisible by the length, then we can simply do it. How do you know that in which number we have to do the prefix? Okay, yeah, so suppose till now we know that suppose the number is 10 to the power 8. So we know that if we go till 10 to the power 8, we would definitely cross 10 to the power 8. So for now, think that we would go till 10 to the power 8. For now, think this. Just get the idea. The optimization is a different thing. Just get the idea how we are coming to this conclusion. How am I using prefix sum? What are the observation here? What is known as the contribution technique? These are all the things that you should take home. The optimization is the last part. You should take the ideas from here. This question might come or might not come. How much question you would do? How much solution you would learn? Okay, it is not a proper technique. What you should do is you should learn techniques from a particular question. You should maintain a Google sheet. You should append a particular question and the technique that is used, and you can revise it. Okay, you should revise it. That is what you should take. That is the proper catch of programming. Okay, now the thing is that we have come to the conclusion that we can simply take a prefix sum from 1 to n itself, and then we can calculate it. Good to go. Now, calculating the prefix sum, then we would see if it is divisible by a number or not. If it is divisible, then it is good to go. It is not divisible, then it is not good to go. Okay. Now the optimization part. Okay. Now, I would be telling you this, but before going to the solution, if you are preparing for Google Kickstart Round F, okay, that is tomorrow, I think that is tomorrow. So after this, from 4 p.m., there would be a Google Kickstart preparation practice itself. Okay. And after my stream at 4 p.m. in this channel only, just go to the video and you can watch this video. Okay. This video would be very helpful and college students should definitely give Kickstart. Okay. Now moving forward. Now what I told is I would do the same. I would make a prefix array. I would answer. For now consider the 10 to the power 8 itself. Okay, as I tell, no problem. So pi is equals to I. We are assigning it. Then we are calculating the prefix sum. Here we are calculating prefix sum. Prefix sum. This is the initialization. Good to go. And then what we are doing is we are seeing for every length 1 to n itself. And then we are taking x and x minus the addition till that point. And if x is less than 0, we can simply do that. If we would break f else x percentile I plus 1 is equals to 0, that is divisible by an integer, that is natural number, we would simply increment the counter and we would return it. But this loop would go from 10 to the power 1 to 10 to the power 8 at worst case, okay, because n's maximum value is 10 to the power 8. So in 1 second we can perform 10 to the power 8 operation. Okay, this is good to go. Now the thing is that when 1 second we can do 10 to the, so it might be the case that if there is no little bit of optimization is not preferred, then we might get an TLE. And how can we do better than this? Okay, so now what we have done is we have calculated 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. We are doing this. We are doing this thing till 6. Okay. Now there is a formula to do this. What is this? Sum of first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2. Good to go. Now we would simply check and see till how far we can go. We would see that we can go till n by 2 or less than. Okay, this is your homework. Now suppose it is the case that you don't know. Okay, it might be the case that you don't know a particular formula. So what I did was, if x is less than equals to 0, that if the sum is greater than the particular number, we would simply break this loop. Okay, so whatever this value is, we don't care. If the value becomes greater than the number that is given, we would simply break out from this loop. And one more thing is that we can simply ignore this calculation of prefix sum. I told this because it might be the case that you don't know a particular formula. So we can simply cut off this, and instead of writing this, we can simply write x minus equals to I into I plus 1 divided by 2. We are doing the same thing, and this would also give you an AC. Okay, now it's time for doubts. Can you tell me what are the doubts? What are the doubts that are remaining in the live session itself? If there are no doubts for around 1 minute, then I would turn this session off. Okay. So what are the doubts? You can ask your doubts here, the problems that you faced. I tried to go as general as possible. What are the things that you have learned? The things that you have learned is that contribution part. You should always think that what is the contribution of a particular element. The next thing that you have learned is how to calculate the prefix sum, how to make use of prefix sum even if you don't know the formula itself. And next is that for those who don't know that formula, the formula for sum of first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2. Can you explain this by taking an example of 15? Yeah, sure. I can explain this by taking an example of 15. Okay. Let me solve the same problem for 15 itself. Okay, I would be telling you how this problem is solving for 15 itself. So the first thing, the length should be 2 or greater than 2. Okay, so length is 2 itself. So now we would calculate the sum till n minus 1 point. So the sum would be like this: a comma a plus 1. This would be the value. Okay, this would be the value for length 2. For length 2, this would be the value. So 15 minus 1 is equals to 2a. So 14 is equals to 2a, a is equals to 7. So now in place of a we would write 7, and 7 plus 1 is equals to 8. So 7 plus 8, first answer for length 2. Now I would calculate the length for C for length 3. The value would be like this: a comma a plus 1 comma a plus 2 is equals to the value 15. So 3a is equals to 15 minus 3. 3a is equals to 12 itself. Okay. Now a is equals to 4. So the value would be 4, 5 and 6 itself. Okay. This also equals to 15. Now we would see for length 4 itself. For length 4, the value would be a plus 1 plus a plus 2 plus a plus 3 is equals to 15 itself. Good to go. Now this would be like this, that 4a is equals to 15 minus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 4a is equals to 15 minus 6. 4a is equals to 9. A is equals to 9 by 4. So a's value 9 by 4 is not a natural number, so we won't consider it. So this is not a valid. Okay, so this is not valid. So in the same way we can check for length 5 itself. 5 is not valid. I would be checking for length around 6 itself. Okay, so this would be like this only. This is how you can check for different length. Okay, this is how we are checking for different length. Just check for different length. I checked for 2, 3 and 4. You can check it for 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, howsoever you want this to go up. Okay, am I clear with this or not? And now why I use the prefix sum technique or the example technique. This for 3 plus 2 plus 1. This part for calculating this part, I used prefix sum or that formula. Yeah. Because 9 by 4 is not a natural number. So we know that the first number is 9 by 4. So it is not a natural number. So we won't consider it. Yeah, Lucifer, absolutely. Absolutely, I am very much thankful to Lucifer. Why? Because he pointed out a very important thing. Okay? Because he pointed out a very important thing which I missed in my explanation. I am highly grateful to Lucifer. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay? Now, time for doubts. I would wait for the same thing. I would again wait because just now I told something, so it might be the case that, yeah. So time for doubts, I would again wait for 60 seconds, and if you don't tell your doubts in within 16 seconds, I would be turning off this session. And if you still face any difficulty and you are seeing it after it is made live, then what you can do is you can simply comment on this video, or if you want want to ask some general doubts, then you can just connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay. Now only 35 seconds remain. Any more doubts? So these are all the things we took home. That what are natural numbers itself, right? Why to one to use modulo, one to use contribution technique, and all this. Okay. So this is me, Siddharth Hazra, signing off. Thank you. If you still face any difficulty, feel free to connect.